Oh, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Double Barrel Gaming. I am your host, Mr. BoomStickXL, and yes, this is X Vlog episode number 5. This is a new series for the channel. A lot of people have been leaving incredible comments, some negative, and of course, I expect that, but mostly positive, and you like this VOD series that is going to continue. And today, folks, today, we are talking about Halo Infinite's campaign. I am 25 plus hours into it, and I am absolutely loving it. It is by far one of the best campaigns in the series history. We're going to talk about the title. I know there's going to be a lot of kickback for it. Some people are going to agree. Some people are going to find it to be outlandish. And it's simply put, why is Halo Infinite a 10 out of 10? Well, we're going to break that down in this video that's going to run anywhere between 12 and 15 minutes. So buckle up and get ready, especially if you're a Halo fan. There's a lot to get into. One of the things that we're going to be talking tonight about in the new episode of Primetime Gaming is we're going to be reviewing live on the air these our personal scores. I'm going to give you mine. Obviously, by the title, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, but you're going to get a chance to hear what the rest of the panel is. So I hope that you tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for today's video, I'm going to be giving you why I personally believe 343 Industries has permanently moved out of the shadow of Bungie, who was responsible for numerous Halos in their history before moving on to create the world of Destiny. It's something that a lot of people have asked the question: can 343 Industries deliver a game as prominent and as important to a series as Halo? And the answer is yes. Not only can they do it, they have done it, ladies and gentlemen. They have delivered in one of what I'm saying, and again, this is just my personal opinion, one of the best Halo campaigns in the history of the series. Now, I know there are going to be people that challenge that. For me personally, if you've been a fan of the show for a while, I have concluded that Halo 3, for me, has and was always my favorite Halo. That is until now. The amount of things that you are able to do as the Master Chief has exploded from your standard claustrophobic, corridor shooter to an open world game that gives the player more choice than we have ever had. It is absolutely incredible what you are able to do, whether it be to take back an FOB, whether it be to save a bunch of Marines that are pinned down, or, of course, one of my favorite things, seeking out and hunting high valued targets. And each one of these side missions, you do not have to do. You are not required to do them. What you are required to do is, like in any game, follow the story beats and just, keep the story moving. And if that's how you want to play, this is probably going to be a 15-hour experience, maybe a 20-hour experience for you. And you know what? If that's how you want to, your experience of Halo Infinite to be, you're not going to get any kickback from me personally. But I think you're selling yourself short of the big picture here. Um, in this open world, which is extremely open, there are many things to find, and you're going to see that on the TAC map, which is going to pop up throughout this video. And the logs that you can find, the audio logs from both the Banished perspective and, of course, the Marines perspective, really do bring an incredible richness, if you will, to the overall story. I think that if you are a fan of the Halo lore, like I am, I'm going to be. I'd admit you right now, I don't read the books, and it's not because they're not interesting. It's just there's just honestly not enough time. But if you are someone that is interested in what happens after Halo 5, there is a lot to know about through these logs, specifically through the Banished, because we're meeting them for the first time. Now, we knew about them through Halo Wars, but and those story beats were incredible. But as a first person shooter that has an open world that you the player can run through, having these extra story beats tell the secrets of Zeta Halo, which is where we are, is absolutely incredible. And I once again I tip my mohawk to 343 for delivering on their overall arcing promise. Now, folks, this is the first time that we are getting a Halo game since Halo 5 released. And obviously, this had a lot of peaks and valleys, so to speak, with its development. We know that it was supposed to have a $50 million budget in regards to the new engine, and there were some talk about originally it was going to be on Unreal Engine, and they moved back to the Slipspace engine, and it had some controversy. But man, I gotta tell you, I don't think I could be more happy for 343 for a multitude of reasons. Now, listen, if you're a fan of the Xbox Factor podcast, which of course I'm one of the hosts, I have given the business to 343 because as a fan of Halo, I wanted them to deliver in a big way. And I'm here to tell you that they have. This single player campaign is probably going to take me personally anywhere between 35 and 50 hours, because I am not going to finish it until I find everything. And I like collecting things. This open world Far Cry-esque Assassin's Creed type of gameplay is everything that I love about being a gamer, giving me things to find, giving me things to do. There are also propaganda towers where you hear the enemy talking, and if you take the time to actually listen, it's hilarious. Again, telling a story that may or may not have been there previously in other Halos. They figured out a way to do it, and this is a love letter to anyone who loves the Master Chief. The journey of where he goes from here is something I can't wait to experience. I am just finding myself looking at the open world map, and as much and as fantastic as the main story is, and it is quite fantastic, the side quest missions open up just so much for you to do. And of course, obviously, I think one of the big telling, aspects of Xbox Game Pass is that this is in their day. It was in their day and date. And listen, I bought the special edition Series X, so I got the game with it. So I own the game, but I was going to buy the game physically to get the steel book, which is on the way. I have gone all in on Halo the same way I have done with previous Halos. I got the special edition headsets. I got the Elite controller. I'm just a big nerd. That's why you tune in. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a big old nerd when it comes to certain things. And Halo is one of those things I don't mind nerding out about. But why is this game a 10 out of 10? Why would I put myself out there to proclaim a game as a 10 out of 10? Because I very rarely, if ever, have given a game a 10 out of 10. Again, I've only been doing YouTube for 4 years. So let's answer that question. Well, first of all, let's talk about graphics. The graphics on Halo Infinite that you see in front of you are top-notch next-gen graphics in every way possible. Master Chief looks like a movie star in every scene that he's in. Whether it be a cutscene, whether it be me going around the open world in a ghost, or the other flying vehicle, or a warthog or a tank, everything looks incredible. From explosions to the actual, the Banished, everyone that's on set looks like a movie star. And that is something that a lot of people had a concern with, right? Obviously, July of last year, when we saw Halo Infinite gameplay for the first time, for me, I had no problem with it. Sure, there was some pop in. Sure, the pilot didn't look as good as he could have, and that's not what people expected for Series X graphics. So they took an additional 15 plus months from that reveal to make what you see in front of you, and it's perfect. An open world. This is the first time we're experiencing Master Chief in an open world, and they nailed it 10 times over. But let's talk sound. The sound is, well, what you would expect in a Halo game. I heard people use the term, it's a Halo-ass Halo game. And they are 100% correct in saying so. But that doesn't make it not great. In fact, it makes it exactly what you would want as a diehard Halo fan, which is what I am. Now, the sound is phenomenal. You hear everything. The chatter between the characters, or the NPCs, whether it be the Marines or the Banished, is something you want to listen to, because there's little story beats in there that open up this big world for you. The explosions sound fantastic. The weapon use sounds fantastic. All of the new weapons look and sound fantastic, as you would expect, and they delivered on that as well. But people are going to want to talk about, well, sound is important, graphics are important, but how much fun are you having, Mr. Boomstick? And here's the thing. It has been a very, very, very long time since I have played a game that puts a giant cheese smile on my face, unlike anything in what seems like years. And there's a multitude of reasons for that. Being a content creator and having this incredible community support this channel is something that is always going to be heartfelt. And a lot of the times I put bringing this content to you before my gaming time, because I owe it to you from all the support that you have given me. The reason why you're getting a late version and you didn't get episode 5 last week is because I honestly just wanted to be a gamer, folks. I simply wanted to enjoy playing this game, and I have been playing nonstop. When I'm not thinking of Halo, there has not been a game that I want to play other than Halo. And here's the thing: as amazing and addictive as multiplayer is, and it is quite addicting. I'm level 52 and loving it, and I'm going to complete this battle pass, but hopefully by the first quarter of next year. I do not want to do anything but play the Halo single player campaign, because it's just so much fun. Everything that I've described earlier in the video about it just giving you a multitude of things to do, you can follow the story beat for beat, or you can, like me, just go and do as many side quests as you can. And that's all I'm doing. Every time something else unlocks, whether it be a Spartan core to level up to, for the RPG aspect of the game. You level up your shields, your ping, you can drop a shield. You obviously level up the grappling hook, which we're going to get to that in a second, because the grappling hook is and has changed the way Master Chief moves around forever. We could never go back to Master Chief on foot not having this grappling hook. It is the biggest thing to happen. But the gameplay loop is there. Obviously, there is an end game, and we are getting some end game story content from some leaks. Now, that's not official from 343, but I believe we're going to get some story beats. And the story, this is a 10-year plan for Halo Infinite, so we're going to continue the story of Master Chief and what happens at the end of this adventure. But let's get to the grappling hook. Man, here's the thing. We already feel badass because we are a super soldier, right? We were the Master Chief. But this grappling hook, the grapple shot as it's known, makes you feel like a superhero, like Spider-Man, because nothing is unattainable. You see you want to climb up a mountain and get to the and unlock the nosebleed achievement, which I did. You can get up there and you don't have to fly your way up there. You can get up there by grappling onto any surface. You see a gun, you want to grapple it, you get it. You want to see one of the explosive canisters, you grapple it, you get it. This has changed Halo in the best way possible, and there's no going back from here. It's only going to get better. But listen, folks, I'm 15 minutes into this video. I'm going to go a few more because I can't stop gushing about it. I think that I have put down enough for you to understand why Halo Infinite is a 10 out of 10. But let's build this whole picture on why I would dare say any game is a 10 out of 10. Not because a site said it, or not because my brother may think it, or anybody on my panels. This is coming directly from me. And I say it's a 10 out of 10 for these reasons. We're going to start first with the single player campaign, which is what we're talking about today. Graphics, check. Story, check. New equipment, check. Gameplay beats, check. New way to play and experience Halo unlike before, check. All of the check marks, all of the boxes, I should say, have been checked and should be experienced if you are a Halo fan. Now, I can't say that the Halo purists that love that claustrophobic, tight corridor, on-foot Master Chief are going to give this the same score that I did. In fact, they may even dislike it terribly, and I can't argue with that. Like I said earlier, this game is not perfect. One of the biggest, I think, complaints for people who are purists of Halo, and one of the things that is incredibly important to many people that have messaged me personally, has been the lack of co-op. And some of the stories that I have been told are personal, and they're emotional, and they're important. And they're important to the conversation. I will not obviously shout out the people that said this because this was private conversation. I will lay out the story. I had one gentleman reach out to me and say, "Hey, Boom, listen, I know you're excited for Halo Infinite, but I'm not going to play it because my dad, who introduced me to Halo, we played it co-op, and now I want to play co-op with my child." Folks, you can't see it because I'm on camera and you don't see my arms. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. That's an emotional story. It's a personal one, and you can't argue that. Forge is something else that a lot of people wanted. It's coming. It's coming a little later. It's been delayed, and some people may take points off for these. I would not, because I'm reviewing the game on what is in front of me, and what in front of me is a masterpiece in both open world gameplay and story, and just it being the best Halo to release since Halo 3. But I also want to bring into the conversation multiplayer. See, this is where it could have went incredibly wrong. Halo 4 had single player campaign and graphics that were incredible. The multiplayer tried to be like Call of Duty, and it just didn't resonate with me. Even though I did play it a little bit, I couldn't get into it. Halo 5, the story, it wasn't a memorable story at all. I did not like it, but the multiplayer was fantastic. Warzone was something special. Now, I didn't play the multiplayer as much as I probably should have as being a multiplayer fan, because I was so dejected from the story. I wanted to play as Master Chief, and I couldn't. Well, they nailed it, folks. They nailed it on both aspects. The single player campaign is a masterclass telling of where I am. It is graphically, it's incredible. Everything that I've said already about the single player campaign cannot be reiterated. But the multiplayer is where this game also shines, and no one shines more than the other. They both have their own way of being the best of the best of the best. And I'm telling you right now, Halo multiplayer is not only going to be, it not only is a winner, it is going to be around for years to come. It is a masterclass multiplayer game with everything that you love about Halo and many things you didn't know you needed, but that now that they're there, you could never have and be without. Um, I I just think that this is 343. They have officially moved out of the shadow of Bungie. I think that this is an incredible triumph for that team that has seen so much trials and tribulation. I am thrilled that it is getting such high review scores. It has currently moved up to meta to an 87, which is awesome. Um, it is, listen, folks, again, I don't know what else I could add to this video. This was obviously about the single player campaign, but the overall package, Halo Infinite by 343 Industries, delivers in every way possible, both single player and multiplayer. It is a solid 10 out of 10. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I could have added a point and given it an 11, I would have. I think I've presented my case in a proper manner. Um, you know what? Before I get out of here, there's one thing that I want to say. Now, this is obviously spoiler free. What makes a great superhero film? What makes a great story, right? Besides the protagonist, you need an antagonist. And wow, well, Halo Infinite has that in spades because there are people that you meet that you've seen, and there are people that you will eventually meet in by unlocking the story, and each one does put themselves in that avenue of being important to the story and a proper antagonist from Master Chief, where they are the bad guys you love to hate. And I'm not going to spoil who you're going to meet later on, but we will eventually learn what happens to Atriox, because obviously there's a big opening scene with Master Chief and him, and then as you unlock the story, you will learn, like I have learned, what happened and who's in charge and who are these behind the scene bad guys, which I will not spoil for you. But listen, folks, this is probably going to go in as one of the biggest videos that I've done. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I can't wait to hear your experience with Halo Infinite. Please leave all comments in the section of this video so we can have a conversation. And of course, tune in tonight to our live on review of 343 Industries Halo Infinite. That's going to be primetime gaming on Double Barrel Gaming's YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I cannot wait for you to hear what the rest of the panel is saying. And we've been going back and forth since its launch last Wednesday, and everyone is just absolutely loving it. But listen, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this new vlog series. Obviously, X Vlog is something that is going to remain, and it's going to come back in an even bigger way in 2022. I will be dropping a couple of more vlog videos in the next week or two before the holidays, so you have something to listen to. But thank you again. My name is Mr. BoomStickXL. This is Double Barrel Gaming. If you are new to the channel, please help me get to 10K, folks. We're close. We're almost, we're at 9,200. We're 800 away. And if you are new, please help me get there if you enjoyed today's video. And of course, please consider hitting the like button. And I will see you in the next episode 6 of X Vlog. This is Mr. Boomstick signing out, and we'll see you in the next video.